Hopefully I put this video out before the Switch gets announced and all of these things become old news, but I do have a wish list for the new Switch, the Switch 2, whatever they're going to call it. I think the core of it is, hey man, just make a better Switch. Make a more technologically advanced Switch. Make a Switch with some things that were better than the first one when it comes to stuff that works and various things like that. No additional gimmicks are needed, I think. The gimmick of it's a home console that works on your TV in a higher resolution, and it's a handheld console that works with you portably. That's great. It's not a gimmick. It's just a good idea that works well. You want a powerful enough system to play cool-looking games on your TV and couch. You want a portable system to play said games maybe not quite high resolution because, you know, it's a portable screen, so who cares? It's a smaller screen. Have that be the thing. You don't need additional stuff. You don't need it to be a weird motion controller thingy. You don't need it to be a yo-yo. I don't know what they're going to do. Like, they always kind of come out of left field with some of these ideas, and sometimes they work great. Sometimes they're the DS or the Wii. Sometimes they're the Wii U. And it doesn't work so great. And sometimes they're the Switch, and they're just a great idea that's not really a gimmick. It's just cool. I would like it to be backwards compatible. They have said it's backwards compatible, so great. I would like every single Switch game to work on the Switch 2. I don't know where the cutoff would be where it doesn't work, but I would like them to be truthful about that. I would like the controllers to not have the drift. I love the Switch. I think it's a well-made thing, but I did get the Joy-Con drift, and it is really annoying, and even though I probably should have just sent in the thing to get a fixed one, I didn't want to bother and ended up buying a new pair. So I don't know if I would do that today, but that is what I ended up doing. Please make the controllers work for the entire lifetime of the Switch 2 and beyond. Please. I would like Nintendo Online to seamlessly go to the Switch 2. I would like all the things that you have purchased digitally to migrate over to the Switch 2 with no issues whatsoever. I don't know if it's day one, but it certainly better be month one. I just want that stuff to work. I tend to get hardware, or I tend to get physical copies of things, so I don't have a lot of digital stuff to transfer over. I think I might just have, well, actually, I think my wife might have more digital stuff than I do. But yes, we want all of those things to transfer over seamlessly. I would like a la carte style Wii Shop game purchases, but I would also like wings, and I'm not going to get either of those, so fine. I would like access to old Pokemon games. We've got Nintendo Online, which I might dabble with this year for the first time. I may have got a 3-month sample thing, a 3-month plan or whatever gift card for Christmas in my stocking. So I'm gonna try that. We've got the Game Boy Online, we got Game Boy Advance Online, we got all of these games that are coming out. I would like access to the old Pokemon games. I have access to them. I have the physical copies, so I can play them because I never get rid of the video games because it becomes a pain in the butt to purchase and find later. But I think it would be nice for an entire generation of new players to have legal ways to play these games that are shelling out money for a physical copy that might just be a fake, or having to go through an emulator or something like that. Yes, I would like the privilege of paying you money again, a small amount of money again, in order to have access to these games. I think it would be really cool if they had multiplayer support for these old Pokemon games on these online channels. I would be okay if there was if it was like an additional price. I know there's an additional price to play N64 games. I would be okay if that was slightly more expensive in order to have access to the Pokemon games. And maybe if they're popular enough, they would have to have the server space to handle those multiplayer things. Sure, I understand having to pay more in order to do that, but it would be really cool. Maybe it's just the first 3 generations. Fine. Maybe it's the first 4 generations. Maybe it's just the 2D ones. Maybe it's just the ones that you've already made the remakes for, um, and you've already tapped that market. I think it would be really cool. Please do that. I would like access to GameCube games on Nintendo Online. Again, if it costs an additional level, sure, that's fine. Um, Imagine being able to play Smash Brothers Melee. Imagine being able to play online Smash Brothers Melee. I haven't played a lot of Nintendo Switch Online, but it seems like there's some multiplayer components in some of the games. Wouldn't that be neat? I don't know if they would do that, because then why would you buy the newest Smash Brothers? But come on, man, wouldn't that be cool? What other GameCube games are really fun to play on a Switch 2? Multiplayer-wise, Smash Brothers is the one that comes to mind, but Mario Kart Double Dash was pretty fun. It's you're never going to be able to play Resident Evil 4 on a Switch 2, because they would like for you to buy Resident Evil 4, I'd say about every 5 years or so. So I can't see Capcom doing that, but you get the idea. Less hardware shopping things, hardware or software things. This is more of a game thing. It would be cool if you guys could like twist Game Freak's arms to get their shit together, right? Um, I keep showing up for the core Pokemon games, but wouldn't it be nice if these core Pokemon games were kind of a buggy mess at launch? Hear me out. I think some quality control kind of needs to be inserted into the situation. Maybe make it so that they're not so worried about making their deadlines and pumping out 8 major Pokemon games in a 8-year cycle. Like, I think we would all prefer a more polished product at the end of the day. Maybe you'd sell a little more copies if you didn't alienate a few Pokemon fans about the quality of your product. See if you could do that. The last one I got on my list is a more traditional Zelda game. I loved Breath of the Wild. I haven't played Tears of the Kingdom yet, but I'm sure I'm going to love that too. I don't know if that's the way every Zelda game needs to be from now on. I think moving back and forth between different styles of Zelda is probably a good idea. So, whatever you think a more traditional Zelda experience is, I think is probably the thing the next Zelda game should be. That would also give you more time to come up with Breath of the Wild style things, and for technology to advance enough to make a better Breath of the Wild 3, for example. So I think moving back to a Zelda game with more traditional dungeons and combat and RPG elements when compared to Breath of the Wild would be a good idea. I think you should do that. I can't think of any more wish lists. I just basically want it to be a better Switch with more access to retro games and maybe more multiplayer options for that. And for Game Freak to do better, I guess. I don't know.